Elizabeth here. Today I have a very exciting guest, and it's Rhiannon from The Dress Theory, which is a gorgeous bridal boutique here in San Diego. So I want you to go ahead and tell us a little bit about The Dress Theory, maybe how it got started, and just anything you want to share.
Yeah, so we started in 2012 in Seattle by two sisters, Summer and Camille, who were both from San Diego, actually.
Yep.
So Camille was living in Seattle at the time and was engaged and just not looking forward to the dress search. She was looking for something that was unique and not very traditional, something that reflected her personal style and maybe didn't even have like a train or something.
Yeah.
And what they found was that's just not out there.
Yeah.
So they decided to create it, and now 8 years later, here we are with 3 stores. We have our original in Seattle and Nashville and San Diego.
Very awesome. And so tell me a little bit about the brands that you guys carry. I know it might vary from shop to shop, but in general, what are kind of your main brands?
Yeah, so we carry in San Diego about a dozen different brands. All are handpicked and curated with our specific bride in mind. They're from all over the world. Some of our top-selling designers are like Rudison, Sarah Seven, Flora, Rimeridaki. Hard to pick a favorite because we just adore all of them. But yeah, they're from all over the world. They're designers that we work closely with that kind of fit that need that we were always looking for, to meet brides who are looking for something that's not traditional and unique and like reflects their personal style.
Gotcha. And so what are kind of the general price ranges that a bride might find if she's coming to one of the shops?
Our prices start, it's about $1,600 to $8,000.
Okay.
We have a couple designers that are right at that like $1,600 to $2,000 range.
Okay.
But the majority and widest variety is right at like $3,000 to $6,000.
Okay, gotcha.
With like average price about $3,400.
When it comes to like the typical dress theory bride, what is she like and what is her style like?
She's a bride who's looking for something fun and out of the ordinary, something that's unique and not what you see every day.
Okay.
Most importantly, she wants to feel like herself and not just like what's expected of a bride.
Okay.
So we have picked these designers that kind of meet that need, that are something different and make you feel just beautiful and like yourself.
Yeah, I love that. And so if a bride wants to come here or just really any dress shop, why are maybe appointments so much better or even required than walk-ins? Like, what are you going to get out of an appointment and why is it so necessary?
So appointments are important to us because that allows us to have one-on-one time with the bride. You're partnered with a stylist who's there to listen to everything that you want, that you need, maybe even things you didn't even realize that you wanted. And they're experts at like the kind of dresses that they have, what trends are really popular right now, or even just kind of listening to what the bride's not even saying or doesn't know that she wants. And they're there to make it a fun process for you. It can be really overwhelming, but at the same time exciting and fun. So when you're partnering with someone who is there to kind of like make all of that happen, it totally makes the appointment worth it.
On the note of appointments, you know, I know some brides are quicker than others, some might be really indecisive, but what's sort of a reasonable amount of time to expect the appointment to take if you're not being like really indecisive and just going crazy with it?
So we schedule our appointments for an hour and a half.
Okay.
From our experience, that's just like the perfect amount of time. Some brides are even finished in like 45 minutes or like a little bit less. But an hour and a half time is just the right amount to really try on dresses that are specifically picked out for what you're looking for, and to be able to kind of hang out in them, take pictures in them, and really just be able to decide if that's the one or not.
Gotcha. And so have you ever had a bride try to be here for like 3+ hours or anything? Like, what do you do if they're just not leaving and they can't kind of figure anything out?
Yeah, it's happened before. I mean, sometimes if it's not crazy busy and maybe we have that extra time, we're happy to do it. But weekends are a little bit harder, for example, because it's kind of like back-to-back brides.
Okay.
So we do have to really stick to that hour and a half time frame. If it does get to a point where maybe it's too long, we've always worked with scheduling brides a second appointment to come back in. Sometimes even like having a day or two to kind of sleep on it, then come back for the second appointment, and things might change, or they might even know exactly what they're looking for.
Cool. And so I know I never really went to a bridal fitting for my appointment, but I've always seen on TV, sometimes you'll see the shows where the bride brings like 30 people with her to the fitting. How many people do you feel like is actually a helpful number? Is there an amount that just gets too much, or like how is it if a bride just comes alone?
We've seen brides come in by themselves to like 12 people.
Okay.
What we've noticed is anything over 5 gets really overwhelming for a bride.
Right.
There's so many varying opinions.
Yep.
And then a lot of it, the attention sometimes is not even on the bride, and it's mostly just kind of everyone wanting to get their opinion out.
Yep.
So under 5 is kind of that sweet spot.
Okay.
And we actually get a lot of brides that come by themselves. A lot of times it's because they had a previous appointment where maybe they brought the whole entourage and realized that, okay, I just need to focus on me. But we recommend bringing whoever is important to you in making that decision.
Okay.
Or whoever you just want to share that special moment with.
Gotcha.
And sometimes that could be just like 1 or 2 people.
Yeah. I feel like I would be the kind of person to go alone just because I don't ever like people waiting on me.
I'm like that.
And I want to take my time. Like, I think too, I'm kind of decisive in the sense that like I'll yes or no, and then if I have a question, like I'll just text it to a friend and be like, "What do you think?" But that's just me. But yeah, I can't imagine bringing like 15 people. It seems like it would be a lot. But if you want to bring 15 people, I guess bring 15 people. Just know that it's going to be a little crazy.
And we've had it to where a lot of times, because we get brides from all over, so sometimes they're just traveling here for vacation or for work, and they're by themselves.
Gotcha.
And we've totally set up like a FaceTime with like mom or sister or anyone important, or even like you said, text messaging pictures. So that way, if someone can't make the appointment with you, they can still feel like they're a part of it.
Gotcha. A lot of brides sometimes, really know nothing about the wedding process. They've never been through it. So when it comes to your appointment and your fittings and everything, what are the things a bride should remember to bring?
There's actually not a lot that you really need to bring. For example, for us, we have the shoes, accessories, obviously the dresses.
Yep.
We usually recommend not wearing a bra.
Okay.
A lot of dresses have it either built in or with backless being a very popular style, you don't need a bra. It would need to be built in anyway. Right. So if anything, maybe just nude undergarments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And so I know some brides feel a little bit more shy and conservative. I know a lot of people are like, well, does the stylist go into the dressing room with me? For those brides who are maybe too nervous about that, is it okay to request that like they do as much as they can? Like, I'm just trying to think of, I know there are some shy brides out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, generally it can feel like a little awkward to be naked in front of a stranger. But I mean, we do it all day
all the
long,
time,
so it's not like it's not even anything we even notice. But for brides that do want to be like a little bit more conservative, it's totally fine if they request to kind of maybe be in the dressing room to put the garment on, and then we can help with like clipping it, zipping it, just making it give you that right fit. So whatever amount of privacy you want, we're totally open to it.
Perfect. Yeah, I think some people just like strip down and don't care.
Yeah, some totally do.
And some are like, they only want you to like see their back when you're clipping and zipping. So it's kind of good that you have the option. So I guess don't be shy if you are shy to request being in there alone for a bit. But if you don't care, then I guess just know that they don't care because this is what they do all the time.
We don't. I mean, we're here to make it as easy as possible for the bride so that the experience should be fun and exciting and not like stressful, overwhelming, or make you feel insecure. It's supposed to just make you feel really good.
And on that note, do you guys ever offer champagne, or do brides ever bring in champagne?
Yeah, both actually.
Okay.
We do offer champagne, like when we want to toast when you found the one. We have a lot of brides that maybe want to bring in their favorite kind of bubbly, snacks or wine.
So fun.
Yeah, just to make it kind of a party.
Yeah, it is like a little party. I love that. For a fitting, I know a lot of brides, are nervous if they're going to find a dress or not, but ultimately, what makes for a successful fitting?
Well, a successful fitting happens when a bride comes in and is really open-minded.
Okay.
Also really honest with their stylist, too. Being upfront with how you feel in a dress, and don't worry, the dresses don't get offended.
Yeah.
It's totally okay. What matters is how you feel in the dress.
Exactly.
And then just being open to suggestions from your stylist. And it also helps with whoever you bring that they're kind of the same also.
Gotcha.
Because a lot of times bringing family or friends, they might have one idea of how they see you or how they see a bride, but that could be totally different from what the bride sees. So if everybody's just kind of on the same page or open to anything, that always makes it really successful and a lot more fun.
Yeah, and so how often do you have brides coming in saying, I want this style, but then they end up with something completely different?
So often.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say more often than not. I mean, we don't wear wedding dresses every day.
Right.
So, like, how do you really know what you want? Yeah. I think in general, brides have a good idea of how they want to feel or a certain vibe. But as far as, like, specific fits or styles, a lot of times they'll end up with a dress that they even say, like, I wouldn't even have tried this on if you didn't bring it in. So, yeah, it happens a lot.
So for those brides wondering what exactly happens in a fitting, what should brides kind of expect, and what is the process like once they book their appointment and they've come in?
Yeah, so when they come in, we'll go to our private room with their friends and family and the bride. You're partnered with a stylist who will then just kind of ask you about your wedding, what plans you have. It's nice for us to kind of get to know like the general feel of the overall wedding. And then things that they're looking for in a dress, or even how they want to feel in a dress. And it could come down to like specific details, or just maybe even things they know they don't like. That's usually the most popular thing that a lot of brides know up front is what they don't want. And then we'll go out to our main room and look at dresses. The bride can kind of browse through. Your stylist will pull some dresses that they think you might really like. And then from there, we'll head back to the dressing room, try on each of the dresses. A lot of times we like to have the brides kind of try on the entire selection that they picked. And then go back to the favorites. Because sometimes seeing a dress on more than once or twice really helps. Especially, I mean, it's such a big decision. You want to make sure you make the right one. And then after that, I mean, it's just a lot of champagne, fun, good music, hugs, maybe tears.
Nice. And so say a bride has a dress, but there's some changes she might want to make. How easy is that, or does it depend on the designer? Tell me a little more.
It does. It really depends on the designer. There are some designers that have no customizations at all, and some that can maybe take the top of one dress and the skirt on another and combine them, or any other little customizations. So yeah, that just depends on the dress and the designer.
Gotcha. And so here at the Dress Theory, do you guys do like the alterations, or do you do like the second fitting, or do they need to take that to an alterations place?
But they do need to take it to a seamstress. We actually have a handful of really great seamstresses that we've worked with for years. Throughout San Diego too, we have them. Some in North County, some here, some down south. So that way it kind of geographically works for everyone, and it makes it really convenient and easy.
Perfect. Yeah. And I would assume that anybody that they're sending you to is going to be really good. And so I want to ask a little bit about accessories. So how many brides do you see, maybe like percentage wise, are getting a veil and wearing a veil with their gown these days?
Half and half. Yeah, we have brides that definitely want to do a veil. Some that maybe even don't, but that after trying on a veil, they totally do. We're big fans of doing just a really long, simple, very sheer tulle veil. We've noticed that looks best with almost all of our dresses.
It's a little bit more simple. It's versatile.
But accessories have really, I think the trends really kind of changed over the years. A lot of brides are even choosing to not do a lot of accessories. Like belts aren't as common anymore. What we've seen a lot is brides preferring to do like a statement earring or something kind of in their hair versus like a veil or bracelets or necklaces or belts.
Is there anything else that you think brides should know, just whether about the dress theory or about the, you know, finding your dress process in general?
Yeah, when it comes to finding your dress process, the best thing to do is definitely do a little research. We do get brides that come in who kind of have no idea what they want. But just generally knowing what direction you want to go in with the dress, or even how you want to feel, definitely helps the stylist pick out the best dress for you. Also, knowing budget. That goes with like any kind of wedding plan. You definitely want to know how much you can spend on all different parts, and especially your dress, because the hardest thing is to fall in love with the dress that's maybe like double your budget and then you can't get it. So we recommend that's a really important thing to know.
Yeah, I think that's such a good thing to say, because I'll have brides come to me and they'll say, oh, I have no idea what my photography budget is. And I'm like, what? Like, I mean, you know, what are you doing? It's like, you know, it's like you're just going shopping out at the mall, but you have no idea what you can get. And then maybe you're looking at something in Chanel when you realize you can't afford that. And what you can afford is maybe something over at Macy's. And like,
where do you go from Chanel?
Exactly. But then you get your heart set on something. So it is nicer to have that figured out, or at least some sort of a range. And then you can share that with them.
Totally. And we're always very respectful of like a bride's budget. If she's comfortable with going a little over or strictly staying beneath, it's totally, they kind of set that. Tell
everybody like where they can find you on social media. Tell me the locations of your stores again, anything else you want to share with people.
Yes, so the Dress Theory is in 3 different locations. Here in San Diego, we have one in Nashville and Seattle. You can find us on Instagram. Our main account is the Dress Theory, and each of our locations have an Instagram account as well. The Dress Theory San Diego is ours here. And you can check us out on our website, thedresstheory.com. There's information on how to schedule appointments at all of our locations. Specifically in San Diego, you could email us or call us.
Great. Well, thank you so much for collaborating with me today. I hope you guys can go check out the Dress Theory. Even if you don't live near them, maybe you can follow them on Instagram. Their Instagram is so beautiful. It's full of just so many gorgeous dresses. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.